Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the weekly review special for week 47 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, we came in just under the 3,000 mark at 2,988 points, and just 22 points shy of where we were a week ago after Draft Day Sports College Basketball ended a season and lost about 225 points. So with those points wiped out, we nearly covered it off in the other games. Best round was last week, that 3,010 mark, so we come up a little bit short of that. Current virtual best, though, does increase to 4,224, but the all-time virtual best is unchanged at 6,235 points. Looking at the 10 games individually and breaking down some changes to the channel. Pro Cycling Manager 2019, first up career mode, already drawing close in on last season's record score. We are killing it in the points this season. We are really, really dominating in so many ways and really competitive in World Tour races despite being a pro continental team. And we've been on a long stretch of World Tour race after World Tour race after World Tour race. And while we're not winning them, we're pulling solid results. And those points are racking up pretty quickly to where I think we will surpass last season's, even though I am quick simming a lot of races in between what we're filming. In the stage racer, not quite the same scoring trend, but also looking good. We're starting to get a little bit later in the season. It's a tough season on that one. I haven't had the form at the right times. I've had a ton of bell curve negatives that are on the wrong end of the spectrum on that one, where we're having poor form stage after stage when we shouldn't be. So the roll of the dice has been very anti-us this season, and my team is garbage. I'm riding for CCC, and the riders they send me out with race after race after race, and I'm not wasting points selecting teammates, and I know technically I could, but I'm saving it for a year that we actually can really be competitive. So I'm saving those points up. They do accumulate over time. They do store. So yes, I know there's something I could physically do about it, but even if I did, the team is still really poor as a team. We are last in the World Tour rankings, and I have way over 50% of our total points for the year. So it's very disproportionate. It's been all me, and I've been having to do it alone again and again. So matching last season's total, even though I was Pro Continental last season and I am World Tour this season, very difficult. Very, very difficult. And I'm absolutely looking to make a move away from the CCC team because there's no support. In the Classics rider, drifting a little bit further back and going through a similar thing. That one more so is because of the rise to the World Tour, because now I'm going against the best riders, and the type of rider I have as a Classics rider, as somebody who's on the cobbles or on the punches late in those races, we're going to be alone, period. To get victories, you just have to be better than those around you. But I'm not. I'm going up against Alaphilippe and Van der Poel, and they're just better than I am right now. I'm going to have to level up a few times before I can get onto their level. So I'm having decent results, but I'm not winning. So the points are less, and my rate of leveling up is a lot less because I'm a team leader, but I'm not winning. In Motorsport Manager, still on 14 points. No points this week. 2 okay results, but all of a sudden the field is just consistently getting to the end of the race. I'm used to having there being 4, 5, 6 DNFs in a race, and there's been no DNFs or just one DNF. And so all of a sudden fewer points coming, fewer DNFs, and we're just missing the points. And we've been having problems when others haven't. So a little unlucky there. We'll bounce back though. The car is getting stronger, it's getting more competitive, and we should consistently grab a few points. Rebel Inc., 500 points. having to take a step back and reevaluate. So after finding 5-star success on normal difficulty, it was like, okay, here we go. We're going to go on to brutal, and it's going to take a little while, but we're going to figure this out, and then we're going to have bigger, better scores, play on the hardest difficulty. Brutal isn't just a step up. It's like a whole stairway up without any steps on the stairwell. And it's not some sort of smooth, angled stairwell. It's you're on the first floor and, oh, look, there's the second floor. Oh, wait, there's no stairs and there's no ladder, and I have to get from here to there. I hope you could find Spider-Man or some suction cups, because we're not going to get up there like this. It's ridiculously hard. We're going to step back down to normal for a while and not just hit one 5-star performance, but we're gonna master a number of things, because there's still a lot that I haven't experimented with. We have one tactic that works under one circumstance and got us to a 5-star performance. We have another tactic that works consistently to get us about a 3-star performance. But I need to experiment and introduce more and tweak, because we've really got to be on it to do brutal. So we're going to step back down, but that also means our points aren't going to necessarily go up much for a while. It's all good, though. Rebel Cops finished another campaign. We're now at 350 points. Moving along. Strange one, because I always like to go stealth, and it was a massive shootout for the last 2 weeks. I'm glad to have that behind us, and we can move forward with everybody intact. Drafting Sports College Basketball, 390 points. New season, just getting started. That game is very much in danger, though, of being replaced. Well, we'll see if it is or not. I'll come back to that subject in a moment. But new season, so just getting started. Team looks good, so high hopes for the season. Pro Cycling Manager 2018 career, 233 points. Again, with so many quick sims this season that I think we actually might see a dip in score from last season into this. We're in the same level, essentially running the same races. And because I'm playing the 2018 game a lot less, I'm actually starting to get a little bit inconsistent, because I'm getting so used to the difficulty on 2019 and having to get things just right and go at this right time, because we're playing on hard. The game's slightly different than the 2018. Going back to 2018, things sometimes I go, oh wow, this is easy, as we grab massive results and get multiple riders just all across the top 10. But I'm not always pulling the victory, because I'm waiting for the exact moment when I actually could get away with pushing a little harder or going a little sooner, and so on. So we'll see. I think we're still hovering. We're still flirting with the 439, but we're definitely past halfway now. F1 2019, the last question mark career has come to an end. And oddly, I wouldn't say ironically, but oddly, the score is 400. Exactly. No reason that it's at 400. It's a combination of points across various categories. The car, the AI level, the assists that are on or off. Most off. I got a fair few points from having most of the assists off. There's a couple on. My points scored on the season, and the development of the car. Now, a lot of the points are the development of the car. After 2 seasons and bouncing across teams, the car is quite developed. So there's a lot of points in there. It's less than half, though. But still, 4 different categories scored in different ways, all come together, and the final total ends up being exactly 400. Just odd. Interesting. But that is the final score. So we did 2 complete seasons. We did end up with 1 career podium in 2 seasons. So going from last place, 20th, every single race, I really figured things out in the second season. It was late season 1 where I had tweaked the settings enough to where it finally worked. We were getting through the field consistently. We were getting top 12, 13. We were fighting our way through the field. We weren't crashing out of every race. I wasn't using a whole lot of flashbacks, but I used enough, just enough. And so that balance to not make it a constant flashback, but we're just going to crash our way through the field if they don't, So not being overly aggressive, but it was there if I needed it, and we were only using it once or maybe twice a race, and yet we were able to finish. I wasn't totally destroying the wings, and so I was able to fight through the field, get my elbows out when and where I could, and I figured out how to pass a car without utterly destroying them and you. A la Grosjean trying to make his way through the field, or recently Daniel Ricciardo with his elbows out trying to get through the field, or Leclerc and Verstappen with each other constantly battling, getting through the field, or Vettel just passing anyone these days. I'm just going to drive straight into my teammate and take us both out. Yay! We're on a straightaway, and I'm going to drive straight into my teammate. Ooh, that's smart. But 400, not a bad total. I liked it, loved it. I don't have an active racing game now. Somebody, developers, I know you're all listening. No, you're not. But somebody, release the next great racing game, because my wheel cannot sit lonely for very long, and I don't have a lot of free time, so I'm not going to be able to just sit down on a regular basis and do sim racing. I'm not that good currently, but I'm getting better, and I'm going to have a major relapse on that skill if I don't do some amount of sim racing between now and the next release, whatever the next release may be. F1 2020, that's way too long of a wait, so I need something sooner. But F1 2020, I will absolutely start day 1 with the last ? Career. It was a lot more fun than just doing a regular career mode. B, it's something different, something unique that comes to the channel that can attract a different viewer. Because also C, it's a major title that has YouTubers with channels far, 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 far larger than mine that steal all the viewers. Well, not steal. That attract all the viewers. They are not stealing viewers from me. I did not have them first. But it's hard for me to steal them away from them because they had them first. They've been around longer than I have. They are then, Jimmy Broadbent and Arava. Those guys, they've been doing it a long time, and there's plenty of others out there. So no, I'm very much second fiddle to them, and I understand that. But I'm getting better, and having something niche like the last ? Full career mode, not just an occasional episode like most of them do, it would be good. So that's my target. Now, the last one, Football Manager 2020, the new boy in town, a few weeks now, 417. And what the heck is going on? Come on, if you haven't checked it out, if you're a fan of the sport, please check it out. I was very much looking forward to it being a major series for a long time. It was in 2018. I ran that series. It was easily, alongside Pro Cycling Manager, my biggest, that Motorsport Manager. Okay, Pro Cycling Manager, Motorsport Manager, still there. I graduated from 2018 to FM 2019 and had the same level of enthusiasm. And then I got bored of it and decided to take a break. Numbers had slipped a bit. It was well in between the cycle at that point, and out of my boredom, I put it aside, and then almost instantly I've had comments on other games not related to the sport going, are you going to do an FM20 series? Are you going to do an FM20 series? And I was like, yeah, of course. I can't wait to bring it back. It's my favorite sport. I need it. I need it. I could only handle being away for so long. And I bring it back, and the first video has hardly any views. So please, if you do like the sport, do check it out, because I don't want that series to fail. I had high hopes for that being my big series of the early 2020 season. So come on now. Come on. A little support. No, it's fine. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But if it is, please check it out. Once again, though, we come up just shy of 3,000 at 2988. Good week, but F1 2019 last question mark career is done. Though that is 400 points that we're about to lose. Now, I have 2 replacements. 2 games came out in back-to-back days this week. Automation Empire. I knew that wasn't going to be a big release for me in particular because bigger channels than my own, second time that comes up here, received advanced keys to play the game. So there's already been 2 to 3 weeks of content flooding YouTube before the game's release. But of course, while some people would have seen that, not everybody. And then the game releases itself and somebody goes, oh, here's this new game on Steam. I wonder if it's any good. I'm going to hop over on YouTube and see somebody else play it before I spend money myself, and blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. Typical public reaction. I do it myself very often. Hoping that, I could catch some people that way by starting the new content right away. Not so much. It's doing okay, though. It's doing okay. So I don't know how long that series will last, but I certainly enjoy the game, so I think I'd be willing to play it for a good while, with or without the series support. So with that, being known, it should be around for a while. Also releasing this week, and a little bit of a surprise because there was no specific release date, and it's not yet on Steam, so I understand it's going to start a little bit slow. And speaking of starting slow, I've actually had to restart the series, and I have not restarted the series yet at the time of this recording, though I'm recording this a couple days ahead of time. I finished all my other recordings for the week, and now we'll go back and redo. So I recorded the first 3 episodes of Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2020. So a new release from Wolverine Studios, my Draft Day Sports series. Of course, we just recently retired the college football specifically for the pro basketball game, but then FM20 came out and the pro basketball wasn't ready yet, so FM20 has already filled that slot. And I have 2 games to fill the F1 2019 slot, so again, I have 1 more that's got to go away. So do I want to keep just 1 Draft Day Sports game right now and retire the college basketball? Maybe. I'm leaning towards that right now, but we'll see. The Rebel Cops had such a fantastic start, but already it's a game that doesn't draw a lot of viewers. There weren't very many people posting, so actually the first video for Rebel Cops is my most successful video that I've ever put out on the channel. But it's faded pretty quickly. Now the first video still gets a lot of views, but as the series grows older, people grow bored of it and they move on, and they either just play the game themselves. It's not exactly viewing gold. It's just kind of lucked out on being one of the only ones to actually put out some content related to that title, and that's really helped me. That's also what happens with Draft Day Sports as a franchise. The only thing with that is it's even less mainstream as a whole. I'm just about the only one who puts out content on the Draft Esports titles. Not quite, but just about. In terms of quantity, I have far more content, like 10 times more content than all other content providers combined. So yeah, I'm definitely on top of that game, but it's not a widely desired set of content. It's very much niche. It's mostly text-based sports manager games of smaller profile. The game's not even on Steam yet. It's only available through the Wolverine Studios website currently. So until it goes into some sort of wider release, it's not going to be terribly noticed. But anyway, going back, I recorded 3 episodes and then came into a game crashing bug. Wasn't a fan of my first couple episodes of the recording anyway, as the game was largely changed from previous versions. Plus, it was the pro basketball, not the college basketball or the college football or the golf game that I've played. It was a little bit harder to jump into and get your feet wet without already visiting the game. So now I've done that, and then I've had this game-ending bug. So I actually pulled the first episode. I'm going to start again. So if you actually did see that first episode, look out for a new first episode, which would have already been posted by this point, though, in real time. I have not recorded that just yet, but that's what I'm going to do right after this. Go back, re-record, and then start re-releasing that new content for Draft Esports Pro Basketball 2019, which, by the way, is going to be the Seattle Supersonics franchise back from the dead, which hopefully will draw more viewers, as it's going to be neutral and not supported to any one team that exists in real life, though it is replacing the Sacramento Kings. But my immediate target is to gut the lineup and build for the future, as I'm taking a manager with all 1 stats, or GM with all 1 stats. On the all-time virtual best side of things, no change in the top 10. The only change is down there in 13th, with F1 2019 jumping in at 400 points up into 13th. If you remember, the top 11 through 15 are all active titles. But with this being the last week for F1 2019, it's going to go inactive, and it's going to drop right back off that list. The 2 titles that it passed are the 2 PCM 19 games that are close to 400 points. And of course, they are still mid-season and well below those marks. So we're going to see a gap in that. It's not going to be 11, 12, 13. I think we'll be at 11, 12, 14 next week, as that one's removed off the active list. That's going to do it for this review special. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. I will see you next time. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving week if you are in the U.S. If you are outside of the U.S., just have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.